Hi, welcome back to the Pilates Fix. I'm Kristen Matthews. So for today's workout for the Holiday Fix Challenge, we're going to do exercises that are going to help your posture and help strengthen the back side of your body, the posterior chain. So all you need is your mat and actually a doorway, because we're going to do a little bit of stretching for the pec area. As always, listen to your body, challenge yourself for sure, rest if you need, and play whatever music you want today. Okay, so let's get started. So find yourself a door frame. You'll take one arm, the arm that's closest to the door frame, up against the wall at a 90-degree angle, and then take the opposite leg forward. So that front knee is going to bend, the back leg is straight, and the heel is as far down as you could get it. If you have the flexibility, it'll be down. The opposite hand can just come to your hip. So you're really working at a 90-degree angle. We're going to do both 90 and 180. So from here, leaning into the wall or into that arm to get a stretch for this area and your chest, your pec area. So you're bending into that front knee, and you're bending in that knee and pushing from the back leg forward so that you don't arch. You're not flaring in those ribs. And from here, just take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, maybe pull those ribs back a little bit more. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. And then step back a little. Now move your elbow up a little higher. So that was more of a 90-degree angle. Now we're going to go to a bit of a 180-degree angle. And if you need to move it up or down, you can. And now again, you're going to lean into this. Taking a deep breath in. And if it doesn't feel right, you feel like maybe you need to lift or lower it, do that. Exhale. And take a deep breath in. This gets really tight. This area gets really tight on us. Take an inhale. Breathing into that whole center. And then bring that back. Okay. So now I'm going to turn around just because the nature of my apartment. But if you have a good wall or good door frame, just go right to your other side. So now the arm closest to the door frame comes up against it, and that 90-degree angle. This is good because you can see them at a different angle. And then you'll bend that front knee, and you're keeping your tailbone long, and you're leaning forward and feeling that stretch. Hopefully, you might have to move that foot out a little bit, which I'm doing, getting my door out of the way, taking a deep breath in, breathing into this whole container, and then exhale, pulling everything in. Take a deep breath in, and then leaning. So now bringing yourself back so that you can move that arm up more to about a 180, and then go into it from there. So this one might personally feel a little bit more of a stretch for my body. Take a deep breath in. Want to look forward, exhale. Keeping that front knee over that ankle, inhale, and exhale. And then bring yourself back. And then if you have a good enough door, it's really hard for me, but I can try. You can do both arms at the same time, leaning into this. Then I'm going to go probably a little higher than 90. And then just tailbones long. Holding here, take a deep breath in. Tailbone long, pull that throat back so you're a nice long line, even though you're leaning. One more deep breath. And exhale. All right, bring yourself out of there, and then we'll work our way down onto the floor. Okay, so work your way onto your hands and knees. We'll do a little cat-cow to start, patting up that mat if you need to for your knees. So getting yourself with your hands under your shoulders, your knees right in line with your hips. Do a little stretching for the back body. So take a deep inhale, lift your heart, push strong into your hands, lift your butt, shoulders pull back. Exhale, chin to your chest, round forward, look towards your belly button. Inhale, open your chest, shoulders pull back. Exhale, round through your spine, look into your belly button. One more time. This is a quick little stretch before we move on to your hip. Stretch, exhale. And then just even yourself out. Bring one foot forward, the other leg's going to stay back, and then move your hands onto your hips. So hands go to the hips. If you need a little extra support, you can keep your hands on your thigh. We're just gonna work the stretching in the front of the body. So start to do basically like a mini lunge. So you lean forward and then you shift back. We lean forward. We'll do this 8 times. And the reason we do this, we just stretched your chest. Now we're stretching the hip. And then after this, we're going to start to strengthen the back of the body. So it's important to be able to connect into those muscles in the back by stretching the front first. So you can either keep that foot down, which I'm doing, or if you prefer, you can curl your toes under. Let's do 3 more. I want you to feel like you're grounding strong into the back leg. So we get a stretch in that same side. Hip. Last one. Bring it back to the center. Now, take your foot and you'll just take it so it comes right to the edge of the mat, to the floor actually, to the outside of the mat. Same thing, shift forward and back 8 times. So by moving the leg over a little bit, we just get a little different part of your hip. Shift forward and back. Keep breathing through this. We have 4 more. So notice, if you're watching, I have a really nice long line going from my ears all the way down to that stabilizing knee. So when I lean forward, it's really coming from the grounding down of the back leg, and I'm using my butts to push forward to open up the hip. 3 more. 2 more. I've got 1 more forward and back. Now one more variation. You're gonna work your leg out. You can talk today. Work your leg out. And then same thing. So again, moving that leg open a little bit wider. Now I feel my inner thigh a little bit on the actual leg that's up. So by moving these legs, we just change which muscles are strengthening and stretching. It's all really important. 4 more. 3, just find that lift as you go forward, watching that you're not arching, you're breathing into the whole center. Last one. Bring it back to the center. You're gonna walk that foot in. Bring that leg back. We go right away to your other side. So bring the other foot forward, lift yourself up, either hands to your thigh or onto your chest, onto your hips. Shift forward and back. So again, now you can see what I'm doing with this side. We're grounding down and you get that stretch. One side you might feel more than the other in different areas. I know I get a little extra tight in my deep hip flexor here. So I really love these stretches. 3 more. Keep breathing through. Really breathe into that whole center. 2 more. Breath is also, breathing and core strength are so important to posture. Okay, so now come back to the center. You move that leg, shimmy it over to the outside of the mat, and then shift forward and shift back. Really grounding that front foot down, grounding the back foot down, however you have it, and breathing in and exhaling out. 3 more. So we just kind of move through this since we know what we're doing. 2. 1 more. Come back. Open the leg up a little bit more and same idea. Anchoring down through that stabilizing leg and lifting up through that center using that breath, as I mentioned, to help open up that center. Breathe into the container down into your pelvic floor. We have 3. We have 2. Last one. Bring it back to the center. Shimmy that foot in, hands down. Now, working onto your forearms and your knees, we're gonna go into a forearm plank with a little twisting. So, getting yourself down onto your forearm. You can just make fists with your hands or put your palms down, but they'll be parallel next to each other and getting into a plank. Let's bring those legs together if you can. If you need a little more stability, they'll come apart. So holding here, press strong into those arms, tailbones long, heart opens. Find a nice long line through your spine. Now take both of your feet, twist them to the right, hold there. Feel that stretch and that twist and lengthen. Working arms into the mat, come back to the center. Go the other way. Hold that. You're twisting the low half, your upper half stays really strong and grounded. Again, do 2 more each side. Twisting, pressing into those arms, lifting back to the center, over the other way. Breathing through this, pushing strong into those arms. 1 more time, each side. If you need to put your knees down, you can. You can do this with those knees down. Last one. Breathing in. Come back to the center. Lower those knees down. Sit back into child's pose. So it helps just to open up that spine a little bit, get those muscles open. Going back into a forearm plank. This time, have one hand wrap around the other. Legs go back into that forearm plank. You can separate your legs a little bit here. A little more challenging. Legs will come together. This is now a serratus push-up. So tailbone is really long. You can always keep your knees down if you need to. Lift through the back of the neck. You melt your chest down towards the mat. You push your chest away. So inhale down, exhale. Lowering the knees if you need that support. You want to keep those abs pulling up. Keeping that reach to the crown of your head to your heels. Pushing really strong into your forearms. We have 4 more. And 3. And 2. Lift through the crown of your head. Reach. Last one. Hold this here. 4, 3. Lengthen through those legs. And then bend your knees. Sit back into child's pose for a moment. So that works those muscles, the serratus muscles, which help keep your shoulder plugged onto your back. When we're doing push-ups, something I need to work more on. It's definitely like a work in progress for me. All right, so now lie on your back. I'm going to start working your glutes a little bit in the back of the legs, because that's also important, that part of the posterior chain. So legs are parallel, hip width apart. Arms down by your side. Feet really firmly planted down. Tip your tailbone, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, grounding the feet down, working a long line from your knees to your hips to your chest. Just going to start to open and close those knees. If we're standing and doing bar, I think we call this Elvis. Elvis and his moves. Right, so trying to really ground into the big toe knuckles as you're doing this. So work those outer hips. Think of pressing out in. You can even put your hands there. Press into those hands. We've got to work those outer hips, your glutes. That's really big part of posture. We have 8 more. 7, 6. Tailbone is long. 4, 3, 2. Now a little small dip. Go down, up, up. Keeping that neck really long. Reaching through the crown of your head, down to your tailbone. 4, 3, 2. Now we go a little bigger. Go down, up. Lifting from your seat. Using the breath to help. We have 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold it up. Roll your back all the way down. So let's play with a little single leg variation. You can always keep both feet down. Lift your hips up. It's a good challenge, though, to work unilaterally. Keep one foot down really firmly planted. The other leg's going to come up, flex your foot. So you dip your butt down, you lift your hips, push your leg out. Think of pushing your foot into something very strong and pressing it away. 4 more. 3. If both your feet are down, just do your butt dip. 2. Last one. Lift your hips, bend your knee, place your foot down. I feel this because I did a lot of butt work yesterday. Now, ground that foot down that you just put down. Lift your other leg, flex your foot, dip down, push away. Those inner thighs are active. Those outer hips are firming in. You're really pressing strong into the arms. Whole body works in bridge. 2, 1. Bend that knee, place that foot down, and just roll your back all the way down. Rock your knees side to side, just 2 times each side. And then work your way onto your stomach. We're going to do some extension, some upper back work. Okay, so you're getting down onto your stomach, and you're taking your arms and reaching them overhead. Forehead comes down. I always like to open my legs as wide as the mat to make sure I'm centered. And then I'm going to bring my legs together. If it feels better for your back, you're going to keep your legs slightly apart. And then all you're going to do here is lift, tailbones long, abs are in. Lift one arm, the opposite leg, and lower down. One arm, opposite leg, and lower down. So as you do this, tailbone stays really long. always like to think of a little grape under my belly button. So keep going like this. If this feels like this is really challenging for me, then you keep going like that. Otherwise, you're going to take both arms, both legs, lift with your head, and swim. Inhale and exhale. Think really big arms, fast legs. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. And then lower that down. Turn your head in one direction and just wiggle your hips back and forth. Okay, so the next one will be like a lat pull. Again, you can keep those legs either together apart. I'm actually going to separate my legs slightly for this one. I'm going to really anchor them down to start, okay? So from here, my upper body will lift. Tailbones long, abs in. Lift the upper body. Bend the elbows and pull the elbows down towards the ribs. Straighten the arms out long, lower down. Lift up, bend those elbows, pull yourself back. Now to make this more challenging, you will lift your legs with your upper body. So when those arms lift, the head lifts. Bend those elbows. Squeeze those shoulder blades back towards one another. Stretch and lower down. Lift up, bend the elbows, squeeze those shoulder blades back, tailbones long. Reach it forward. I'm competing with my bookcase here. Lift up, we've got 3 more. Pull back and really pull those shoulder blades back, open your heart. Bring it forward, lower down, 2 more. Keep breathing through this. Your back muscles are working. You don't want this to feel compressy in your lower back, but the muscles are working. Last one. Keep breathing through. Shoulder blades pull back, heart opens, tailbones long. Reach out long, lower it down. All right, so now let's do a quick stretch for your back. And then we're going to move into a fun forearm wild thing variation that I like to play with. A little stretch. I like to turn my head from side to side. Okay, so for this one, you're going to come onto your side, onto a forearm, okay? Taking your top leg, bending it, and putting it behind you. So the bottom leg can stay straight, or you can bend the bottom leg. You're going to press really strong into the arm that's down, lift from underneath. Press really strong into the foot that's down, okay? They're behind you, and then really strong through the leg that's down. The whole body's working, if you were wondering. So the free hand is going to lift, and you're just going to lift yourself up, pushing strong into that bottom arm, and then lowering down. So just thinking about turning on the back muscle, pushing strong into the bottom leg. Again, if you want to bend that knee, you can lift up, keep it bent, and then lower it down. Otherwise, keep that straight, and then just lift. You're opening your chest, pushing really strong into that bottom arm, working the muscles around your armpit, opening that chest, and lower down. 2 more. Reach up, feel that stretch back, and lower down, breathe. 1 more time, reach up, feel that stretch back, and lower down. Whew. I feel that underneath here. Love that. Let's just swing yourself around to the other side. I'm going to just go to the other side of my mat so you're not staring at my backside. So prop yourself up onto that forearm. The top leg goes back behind you. Bottom leg stays flexed. Top arm just stays free for now. Let's engage that bottom side. Then the top arm lifts. As you lift up, you can look up and over, push into that bottom arm, lift through that side, and then lower it down. Again, you're going to lift up, reach up and back, and lower it down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, open that chest, push strong into that back leg, push strong into that bottom foot, and lower down. You have 2 more. Reach up, inhale, exhale, feel that stretch, push strong into that bottom arm. 1 more time. Gonna lift up, reach back, open that chest, and then lower it all the way down. Woo! And then I'm gonna have you lie on your back, holding that there. Separate your legs about as wide as the mat and let your knees just drop to one side. Open your arms out to the side. It's going to take, if that feels like that's enough, you're going to stay there. Just let that stretch in the front of your body. Otherwise, take that top, that excuse me, the underneath side ankle, cross it over the thigh. Flex your foot and just feel that stretch, pulling that leg, almost like you're giving yourself traction. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more deep breath. This also gets really deep into that hip flexor that I'm very tight on for my left side. Uncross that ankle if you have it crossed. Lift the legs up. They're going to go the other side. So that might feel like enough for you. Feel that lengthening through your low back. Otherwise, take that bottom ankle, flex the foot, put it on top of that thigh. Just give that thigh some traction. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Uncross. Hug the knees into your chest. Just bring yourself up to a seated position. We're just going to end together. One last breath. Grounding yourself down nice and firmly into the mat. Hands onto the mat, onto your thighs. Take one deep breath in and really fill those lungs. In with that good air, and then exhale. Let that bad air leave that body. One more deep breath in. We're going to breathe in that lightness and let anything go that you need to for the day. And you are all done. You finished another day for the Holiday Fix Challenge. Good job. This is so much fun. So thank you again for joining me as always. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Kristen for Pilates is my handle. Kristen O. Matthews is my website. And I really grateful that you guys are reaching out to me and letting me know how it's going. So thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.